What's up, guys? Welcome to another analysis video. So, in this video, we are going to be looking into some pairs that I am looking out for swing opportunities this week, which is gold, BTC, and US oil. Now, for Nasdaq, these days I do more of day trades on Nasdaq using ICT concepts. So, I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. So, first of all, let's take a look at BTC. By the way, yesterday I took a loss, a 2% loss on BTC after trying to take this breakout. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So I tried taking a breakout trade and yeah, got stopped out of that trade because for me personally, like I think I've shared in our WhatsApp channel already, this level over here is a very critical level. Now, if you trade trend lines, right? Sometimes add certain things to my trading strategy depend on the market condition. BTC has been ranging for some time. For like 2 weeks, I've not had one single trade on BTC, right? And I waited patiently for price to get to that level, then anticipated a breakout. But yeah, got stopped out. So if you trade trend lines, right? There's what we call the third touch. So let's say, for example, you're looking out for price to do this, price retrace, tap into that trend line, does this, does. Now, this third touch, right? Two things normally happens. We either see a massive breakout, all right, that will go and take out this high and this high, or we either see price rejecting massively from that trend line. That's the third touch theory in trend line strategy. I know that trend line, you get the point. So when I zoomed into um I want to show you why I took that buy position. I didn't just take it because it was a guess. No, there was actually some technicals that were behind it. Now, if you go into the daily time frame, this is a daily time frame, right? Now, if you've been following me for some time, you will know that I normally use daily neckline as my, will I call it, so let me just call it support and resistance so that it doesn't sound weird. Now, if you look at this level over here, this is where price is most likely going to reject from, especially if you are trading something like BTC. Now, if you head over to the 4 hour time frame, you see that something happened over there. You see that when price came into that first neckline over there, you can see that it created a breakout structure to the upside. Normally, that should be an indication that price was going to break out to the upside. Though I took this trade on the 1 hour time frame because it first of all creates breakout structure on the 15 minutes time frame, creates on the 1 hour time frame, then creates on the 4 hour time frame, then before it goes to create on a daily time frame. Price action is fractal. You already understand that. So that was why I took that trade. Um, so that was why I took that trade. It was somewhere around this area. Then my stop loss was just below yesterday's low. Now, if hadn't been this was a valid breakout, that would have been profit would have been massive. But yeah, the price came down, took me out of that trade, and now we're on the downside. Now, why am I taking this particular trade? Or why am I in this trade? Is it like a guesswork? No, it's not a guesswork because these two key levels over here, there are key support levels, or there are key resistance level, right? So for price to do that, that simply means that that move was a manipulation, and that also means that this trend line, which as you can see, like I told you, is currently on the this is a daily trend line actually, right? And this is the third touch. So we had this one over here, which was the origin, then two, and have this is the three. So two things will normally happen here. We either see a massive breakout, which I expected from that setup I just showed you right now, and it failed, or we see a massive break to the downside. So this is why I'm in a short position. Now, this is not a signal or whatever. Mind you, these trades are on prop accounts. So even if this trade gets me losing an account, I can still get another account and continue the trading. So I'm not advising anybody to put in money meant for something important in your life just because you are seeing this analysis. Meanwhile, you have to trust your own analysis more than mine. I only trade and share my analysis based on how I see the market and based on how I trade. So that's a full disclaimer right there. Basically, I am now considering this trend line to hold. Meanwhile, this is still Sunday, so we don't know yet what's gonna happen tomorrow being Monday, but I'm just following price action. All right. And from the look of things over here, if you go down to the 1 hour time frame now, you will see that we have a clean change of character that has been created. So we have a minor change of character over here, which is still a major though, if you consider 1 hour time frame, and also have another change of character over here. So it had it mean that we rejected over here and started pushing back up, I would say, okay, this was the this change of character might not hold the price. But here we have two change of characters and price is going to continue downwards. Now, if you also take a look down over here, you see that we also have this clean trend line, um, clean trend line break over here that broke with series of fair value gaps on the 1 hour time frame. So these are the reason why I'm in a sell position on BTC right now. But anyways, we'll just see how it goes. That is just trading for you. You only trade what you see. So let's take a look at crude oil. Now, crude oil is a pair that I used to trade, but due to the Iran stuff, I think I'm gonna look at some opportunities on crude oil this week. Now, before we do that, let's see where we have our key level. So we have this key level over here where price has rejected from a couple of times in the past, as you can see over here, rejected, rejected, and also have a slight rejection over here. Now, those lines, the reason why I love using neckline as my support and resistance zone, all right, is because it gives you a clear and a precise price level. All right. So you don't just mark a big box and are thinking, has price touched the support or has it not touched the support yet? But if you have this clean line, so as you can see, this is the daily neckline over here, one, two. So when you have clean line, it's very easy for you to know where to start anticipating some movement. Now, if you go over to the 4 hour time frame, you can now mark out, let's say you're using like your support using like supply and demand or whatever. Now you can now mark out certain levels over here, right? You can now mark out, let's say, this level, or you can mark out this other level. But I don't really need all those because you have to, once you already have your zone, you know your zone, you just have to wait for price to get there. So basically, I'm expecting price to retrace here. That's on the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. I'm going to be looking at what price is going to do. So if I get some kind of some might call it W pattern or a change of character, then I might want to buy from this level. I want to buy from this level. And first of here, you can just take your TP1 over here, then target over here. Now, it depends on how the market is going to react to what has happened, what has been happening in the weekend, right? In terms of the Iraq, US Iran war. So that's another thing to also pay attention to. Now, for Nasdaq basically, I don't swing trade Nasdaq. I just day trade using ICT concept, so I might not really talk much about that. Now, let's take a look at the King Gold himself. Now, first, let's take a look at daily time frame and see what gold is actually doing in daily time frame. Now, we see gold rejecting from this level over here. These key levels actually held good. So gold came to this level and rejected. So where is the next point that gold is going to? Obviously, gold is heading towards this level, which is the next key level, which should either act as a resistance or something like that. So basically, if you want to take a swing trade on gold, if I want to take a swing trade on gold right now, what I will do, right, is to focus on what gonna do when it gets to this particular zone over here. Mind you, this is the daily time frame, so this might not even happen this week. It might be next week, but yeah, that's swing trading. Sometimes you have to wait for like a week or two before you can get your setup. So you also want to monitor the 4 hour order flow, and looking at the 4 hour order flow, the market structure, you can see that it is quite bullish. So if you are doing like day trading or stuff like that, you might want to keep buying. You might want to keep buying till price gets to this particular zone, which is around the 5K level. Then that is where I will be anticipating a sell opportunity on gold. But anyways, we'll see how it's going to turn out. So yeah, those are my analysis for gold, US oil, and also BTC. So I'm currently in a sell position on BTC. Let's just see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow being Monday, but yeah, that is just it. And in all you do, make sure risk management is everything. Nobody really knows what's going to play out in the market. We can only analyze and execute. We don't really know what's going to happen. But your execution, as long as it's not based on emotion, it's not based on assumption or prediction, it's based on technicals, based on the way you trade. That is all you need in trading. So let's see how this week is going to go. Yeah, that's all, guys. Do have a lovely trading week ahead. Take care.